Hello and welcome. My name is Carrie, and tonight we are going to go through a yin class for the full moon. So get yourself into something comfortable, grab yourself a bolster or a pillow and a blanket. And there's a Spotify playlist listed below if you'd like to put that on, and we'll get started. We're going to stand for this yin class. We're going to start standing anyway. And getting your feet solid on the mat, maybe rocking forward and back. We're going to end up down low to the ground, but I thought we would start standing to celebrate this full moon that we're about to enter into. So settling into your feet, finding some stability and some grounding into those feet, reaching the top of your head up towards the ceiling or the sky, closing your eyes and just taking a moment to go inside and see how your body is feeling as you stand here. See if you can stack your knees above your ankles and your hips above your knees, shoulders above your hips, and ears above your shoulders. And then bringing your hands to your abdomen, and just breathing all the way down into your belly. Filling it up nice and full, and then letting it sink back down. So full moons are a great opportunity to let go of what is no longer serving you. So let's just drop our chin to our chest just to see what kind of stress or tension is in our shoulders. Maybe swaying your head back and forth a few times. And then maybe taking your nose into a nice big circle. Being gentle with yourself. And then we'll take that nose in the other direction, nice and slow. And then coming back to center, lifting your nose up, we'll bring our hands together at our heart center and just rubbing those palms together just to get some heat building up in between your palms. And then we're going to send the left palm up, right palm down, and just gazing up towards the left hand. So connecting heaven and earth, connecting that beautiful moon energy with the earth energy. Breathing all the way back down into your belly. And then we'll bring those hands together back to your heart. Give them another rub. And then this time we'll send the right palm up, left palm down, looking up towards that right hand. And allowing that moon energy to flow down your right hand, down your arm to your heart, down that left arm, all the way down to the earth. Beautiful. Bringing your hands back to your heart center and then sending both hands up, looking up, connecting with that beautiful moon energy. Then we'll bring the palms together overhead and bringing them down to our heart center. Beautiful. We're going to fold all the way down over our hips. You can bend your knees here. Coming over your hips, we'll come into a little rag doll. So just letting your head shake yes and no. Maybe grabbing hold of your elbows just to create a little bit of weight. And as you breathe, just breathing up the back of your legs. As you exhale, maybe sinking a little bit deeper towards the floor. So we're going to hang out here for a few minutes. So making sure that it feels okay for you, making sure there's no sharp pains. And just focusing in on your breath, creating this circular movement. So breathing in from the earth up to your hips, and then exhale down your back to the top of your head and back to the earth. Creating that circle like the moon. And as the moon is full in the air, it illuminates all those shadows, all those things that need to be seen. So maybe while you're here, pondering what is it in your life that you need to look at, that needs to be maybe released and let go. As we're here, we're targeting the hamstrings and the calves. Hamstrings is where we hold a lot of that control. So just see if you can release any of that control. Sending it back into the earth. Maybe noticing yourself getting a little closer to your mat. We'll take 5 more breaths here. Then releasing your hands back to the floor. We're going to bend the knees nice and generous and come all the way down onto your mat. Maybe taking your knees wide, and we'll sink the hips back down towards the floor, coming into a nice deep child's pose. You can stack your fists if you'd like and let your head rest on your stacked fists, letting your hips get nice and heavy. Following the flow of your breath. As you exhale, feel yourself sinking a little bit deeper. And while you're here, I'll share a poem by Dana Falls called Let Go of Something. Let go of something somewhere. Use yoga to become aware, to touch what lies beneath the surface of the skin. Is there tension longing for release? A knot of fear so deep and familiar that you believe it's part of who you are. Ease into dark corners, locked rooms, unexplored hallways. Gain entry not by force or will, but only by softness. Enter on the wings of breath and turn the key of self-acceptance to let go of something, somewhere. We'll take 5 more breaths here. Then bringing yourself back up, bringing your knees back underneath your hips. We're going to come into a thread the needle. So we'll take our left hand and thread it through underneath that right arm, letting your shoulder relax down onto the mat and your left ear, letting that right elbow relax as well. So making it nice and comfortable for you. Hips remain up towards the ceiling. And you can close your eyes here. Breathing into the upper back. I like to imagine that any of that tension or heaviness, any of that responsibility is rolling off my shoulders. Maybe rolling off like water from a duck's back. Letting go of your day. Letting go of that to-do list. Letting go of any should've, could'ves, or would'ves. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves back up. And we'll get ready to do the other side. So take that right hand and thread it through, resting your right shoulder on the floor. Your right ear relaxes down. Letting your left elbow relax as well. And just softening into this shape. Allowing anything that doesn't need to be working to relax. Allowing any heaviness to roll off your shoulders. And then very slowly we'll bring ourselves back up, coming back into our little table position. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So as you exhale, rounding your back up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, letting your belly sink down, head and tailbone come up. Moving back and forth with your breath. And as you move, see if you can slow down your breath and slow down your movements. Really feeling into each of those movements. And then we'll come back into a neutral spine. We're going to come into our swan pose. So let's take the left knee towards the left wrist. We're going to slide that right leg back. Now, if you'd like, you can take your bolster or your pillow underneath that left hip if you want a little extra padding. Making sure that this left knee feels okay, that there's no sharp pains. Maybe rocking from side to side. See how that feels. And then letting your chest expand, bringing your chin up. Nice, beautiful, proud swan. And if the legs are feeling okay, we're going to lower all the way down towards the floor. You can either stack your fists and rest your forehead onto your fists, or you can bring yourself all the way down. So just finding a place that feels good for you. Allowing yourself to melt into this shape. Coming into a sleeping swan. And just noticing any thoughts that arise. And allowing those thoughts to drift on by. Just observing them and letting them go. Creating some space in between those thoughts. And then we'll slowly make our way back up, bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders. We'll stretch the left leg back, maybe moving it back and forth, just getting some circulation back into that leg. So yin is all about getting into the connective tissues, creating a new pathway of energy. So letting that energy flow. And then when you're ready, we'll do the other side. So bringing that right knee up towards the right wrist, sliding the left leg back. Maybe rocking back and forth for a moment. Lifting your chin like a proud swan. And when you're ready, just laying it all the way down, noticing how this side feels, making any adjustments so that there is no sharp pains. Letting yourself settle and soften into this shape. And maybe following the flow of your breath. Imagine that breath flowing all the way into the right hip. And imagine any tension or tightness dissolving and melting away. And then we'll make our way back up. And slowly taking that right leg out behind you, maybe straightening and bending it, creating that energy flow all the way down your leg. Then we'll bring that knee back down to the mat. We're going to sit on our heels if it's comfortable. If it's not going to work for you, you can always place a pillow or a bolster underneath your hips. Sometimes that feels a little bit better. We're going to come into a lion's breath tonight. So you always hear that howling at the moon. So we're going to roar at the moon tonight. We're going to do 3 lion's breaths, and we're going to stick the tongue out, and we're going to bring the eyes up to the sky, and we're going to get rid of all the stale air in our breath. So taking a breath in, and then when you're ready, let's stick the tongue out, eyes up, and get rid of all that stale air. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale. And once more. Beautiful. Let's come bring our legs around, stretching them out in front of us. Give them a little wiggle. Maybe flexing and pointing your feet. And then we're going to bring the right leg in, and you might want to bring your pillow or your bolster on top of that straight leg. We're going to fold down over that leg, coming into this forward fold. So you might want to stack your fists, or just bringing your forehead down onto your pillow or your bolster. Directing your breath into any tight spots. With each exhalation, just softening a little bit more. Again, here we're targeting the hamstrings, so just letting go of any control you might feel you have in your life. The only thing you can control is your breath, so focusing there. And see if you can slow down your breath. And then we'll bring ourselves slowly back up. Moving your prop out of the way, we'll bring the right knee up and stretching it out. Letting that energy flow down that leg. And we'll get ready to do the other side. So you can bend the left leg, just noticing how this side feels. Each side is a little bit different. And when you're ready, you can place your prop on your outstretched leg and slowly making your way forward. Resting either onto your stacked fists or all the way down. And just observing how this side feels compared to the other one. Noticing if you're holding a little bit more in those hamstrings or in your lower back. Forward folds are great for calming the nervous system. Good to do just before going to bed. Just relaxing the shoulders, softening your face muscles. And then slowly making your way back up. And we'll take our bolster or pillow and bring it down onto the mat. We'll stretch the other leg out and just flex and point those feet. And then we'll set ourselves up so that the pillows or the bolster is just behind you at the base of your spine. We're going to take our right leg and tuck it in. Now making sure that your knee feels okay. If your knee is a little high up, you might want to place another pillow or a blanket under it. Making sure this back foot feels okay. We're going to lay down onto your pillows or your bolster. So make sure your head can relax here. And again, if your knee pops up, you might want to prop it up. And just resting your hand on the bottom of that right foot. This is a great stretch for the quads. And a nice thing to do after all those hip openers. So allowing your shoulders to relax over your bolster or relax down onto your pillows. And close your eyes here. Allowing the muscles in the front of that right leg to soften, to let go. And as you breathe, just feel all that tension melting away. Making sure there is no sharp pains, just gentle pressure. Then we'll slowly roll to our left side, bringing yourself back up and taking that right leg and stretching it back out. And just take a moment while that energy goes all the way down the leg. And then we'll get ready to do the other side, tucking your left leg in. See how this knee feels, again using any props if you need to. And then just easing your way back down, taking your time, no rush. Allowing yourself to settle onto your pillows or your bolster. Placing that left hand onto the bottom of your left foot. Taking nice, full, long breaths. Shoulders relaxing. Face softening. Feeling that nice, deep stretch in the quads. And imagine your breath releasing any tension you might be feeling. And slowly rolling to your right side, coming back up nice and gentle. We'll uncross or undo that left leg, letting it just stretch out for a moment. We'll remove the bolster out of the way, or the pillows. And bending your knees, let's come all the way down onto the floor. We're going to come into a spinal twist. So take your arms out into a T shape, and then let your knees float down towards the right. Maybe take your head to the left, letting your shoulders relax. Nice, full, long breaths. And with each exhale, just allowing your back to unlock, to let go. And we'll bring the knees and the head back to center, bringing the knees in for a hug and maybe rocking gently from side to side. We'll bring the feet back down to the floor and get ready to do the other side. Knees down to the left, head to the right. Letting go, relaxing into this shape. And we'll bring the head and the knees back to center, placing a hand on each knee, maybe taking your knees into a circle. And then the other direction. And we'll get ready for our final shape. So if you want, you can take the bolster or pillow under your knees. If you have a blanket, you might want to place that on top of you, getting yourself nice and cozy and comfortable, wiggling in, making any adjustments so that it feels totally relaxing and comfortable for you. And close your eyes, feeling that beautiful relaxation flowing from the tips of your toes down to your heels, moving gently around your ankles and up your shins and calves. Floating over your knees and through to your thighs, massaging and relaxing all the muscles here as it slowly moves around your hips, perhaps feeling yourself sinking a little deeper into your mat. As this relaxation flows up your spine, all the way up to your shoulders, releasing any last bits of stress or tension. And feeling this relaxation flow down each of your arms, all the way down to your wrists, palms of your hands, to the tips of your fingers. Feeling your neck relaxing, jawline softening, cheeks sinking in. With your eyes closed and gazing to the center of your forehead, engaging your imagination. Imagine yourself now in a beautiful meadow under the night sky. The glow of the silver moon above, shining down on a beautiful pond. You head towards that water, guided by the light of the moon. You find yourself at the water's edge. The water is as still as glass. You see that reflection of the moon shining down. And as you look down at the water, you see your own reflection shining back at you, seeing yourself in all your glory and radiance, seeing all that power and wisdom. Guided by the light of the moon, you make your way back through the meadow, bringing a full breath into your belly, beginning to wiggle your fingers, beginning to wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, you can come back up, or if you'd like to, you can just stay just where you are, taking a bit of extra time in Shavasana. And may you all have full moon blessings. Wishing you a very good sleep. Namaste.